everybody, thank you so much for being here. So I'm partially ready in this video. I've got my foundation on. I've got this little 5-piece hot roller set in, which is like my lazy quick roller idea. I've had them for years. I usually keep them downstairs, and lately I feel like I've been getting ready up here and then coming downstairs and like making our bed, putting my rollers in, and like, why am I doing it after the fact? Let's do it upstairs while I'm doing a video. So it's like the easiest thing, and it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, and then one straight in the back, 5, and they're jumbo size rollers, and they just end up leaving your hair like not super curly, but it looks immediately finished when you take them out, if you know what I mean. Like there's a shape to the hair, okay? So I'm doing that, but the point of the video, Sydney Grace new palettes. This brand, when it comes to a powder eyeshadow texture, it's incredible. It's really, really good. My first situation, like falling in love with their formula, it was those Temptalia palettes, that whole collab. There were lots of different palettes, and then they had like light and dark options of one palette, and they did the same thing here. This is the Unbreakable Bond palette, and then they also have some face palettes too. So they sent me the light shade in this. Yes, this was sent in PR. Thank you so much. I have the light option in this, which we will be applying, and that 4-pan face palette comes in fair, medium, and deep, or I guess that was light, medium, and deep. So 2 deeper shade options than what I just showed you. That's going to be $28. And then the Unbreakable Bond palette comes in a light and a deep, and I've been using the light option. Basically, what they do is they kind of seem to just change up some of the basic colors in here and make them maybe a little more suited to lighter skin tones, and then in the deeper one, they're a little bit more rich, but they're not like super far off, okay? Can you spot the differences? This is a kindergarten activity. Now, maybe you can see down here with some of these mattes, we can see there's a totally different tone in that shade called Mama right there. It's more like buttery in the deeper palette. The next shade down from that gets a little deeper and a little richer still with the bottom corner color there. The shimmers seem to be consistent one palette to the next, but it's just like kind of those basic shades where this palette would be ultra suited to a deeper skin tone, and this one could be better for lighter skin. And I just think those details, that's really, really cool, and it's just not something you see any other brands doing. And let's just take a moment to appreciate the palette itself. Like, who out here is a neutral palette lover? This is beautiful. We've got the rosy thing, the kind of dusty rose thing happening, the burgundy, the golds, down here into some navy stuff, which I think is really pretty, and I haven't played with those yet. But I've done some looks that are just so easy, so effortless, beautifully pigmented mattes. One of the best descriptions for this brand is the colors are what you see is what you get on the eyes. What you see here is what you get on the eyes. The shimmers are that soft, buttery, shimmery formula that I'm always really looking for and craving in palettes. Like, don't give me all the flaky stuff. Give me something really, really smooth and just very consistent in terms of its quality. And that's exactly what you get here. Now, what is the Unbreakable Bond? They say it's a collab with the Taylor sisters, and I tried to do some looking up, like, who are these girls? And I'm not exactly sure, but the people at Sydney Grace who wrote this said, we have had the privilege of knowing these girls for most of their lives, and each one holds a special place in our hearts. So I guess there is a lot of sentimental meaning behind this palette. But it says this beautiful wearable palette was originally released as the Taylor bundle, and we are excited to bring it back in palette form with a few changes. So I'm not really familiar with whatever this used to be, but I'm excited to try it now, and I've been using it for several days and just loving all of my end results. What's going on my face currently? I've got on some foundation today. I'm wearing my Ambient Soft Glow from Hourglass. This shade is like, I feel like a little light and yellowy, but the coverage is really beautiful, so went ahead and used that. I've got on concealer, setting powder, did my brows, and now I feel like we can jump into the Luminous Light palette here. So again, there are 2 deeper shade options, but what we have in here is a bronzer shade that's called Starlight. We have a matte blush called Sweet Pea, which I think I'm going to apply that blush first before I put on this one, which has some shimmer, Love Struck, so you can really see how much that can actually do. And then this Day Glow highlighter. We love a multitasking palette. We love something that if you're traveling, it takes 4 different compacts and puts it into one. Again, Sydney Grace's powder formula is so lovely and so soft, pigmented, consistent, reliable, and having this palette is my first time trying it in like face stuff, so this is really exciting. Plus a beautiful big mirror in there, and I love this kind of like gold marble type design design. Really pretty. So we're gonna go into Starlight first, which is this kind of soft looking bronze shade. I don't have any other kind of bronzer or contour on my face yet, so you can purely see what this is going to do, and we are gonna get a nice effect from it. Look at this. This is the light palette, gang. And you can apply it super, super lightly if you want to get a more subtle effect. That's the great thing about pigmented powders. There's a range always, but like I'm not working hard with this. I'm feeling like I'm maybe a teensy bit washed out on the camera, just a little bit more than I want to be, but I'm really seeing it in person. That contour coming up to the hairline, a little contour here. Now the thing about these rollers, if you go for the 5 set, like things will get a little hangy, okay? They're not going to be as completely neatly put in the way, say, a 10-piece or 12-piece roller set might go for you, but they're quick and they just give you that kind of curve under a little bit at the ends. Okay, so see, I'm not even thinking about what I'm doing here, and I'm getting a nice, easy contour, matte contour. Work a little down here. We are in such a weird season right now where the afternoons, I feel like the house kind of heats up, and so I turn on the air conditioning and then I forget and leave that on all night, and we get cold in the night, and then I get up in the morning and I'm like, oh, turn the heat back on. Heat has not stopped running since I got up here. Look at that. Like, so easy, no complaints whatsoever about that. And then we're gonna go for some blush. And I'm first gonna use this Sweet Pea shade. Okay, so when you swatch this, it's like, ooh, is it gonna be chalky? Is it gonna have enough rosiness whatsoever? It really does. This is interesting. So I'm gonna get some of that off on my brush, even tap off the excess. It is kind of soft. And then look at what actually translates to the cheek from that. It almost looks borderline, like especially right next to that pink, it almost looks a little lilac, like you're not even sure, but definitely translates to the skin with some rosiness. And also because it's matte, I've noticed that when I put it on, I have an even more like kind of airbrushed look to the cheek area and the pore zone right up in there. Like, I love the eye palette, but gotta admit, I'm super excited about this face palette too. So pretty. So then let's just layer up a little bit of the blush here, the Love Struck one, which, while it has a little sheen, it's very gentle. It's a very refined, barely there satin finish, and this is so pretty. Really adds that more pinky punch. You wouldn't have to like apply both blushes, but you know who you're watching here. When given the chance to apply 2 blushes, I most definitely will. It's so pretty. Like, talk about fresh springtime. I think this was released at the perfect moment. Sometimes you just get some products and you have that vibe that it's right up your alley, and this one's right up my alley. And then we have a beautiful highlighter called Day Glow over here. So what are we seeing with that? Just beautiful reflectivity. I mean, it comes off looking like, wow, that's a pigmented, creamy feeling eyeshadow, but no shimmer particles. Just not a shimmer fleck to be seen. It's just 100% smooth. And so I'm picking up a little bit of that on my Real Techniques setting brush. Let's focus. Look at that. So I love letting that pop where the bone in my cheek really comes out, and then just letting the rest dust back. Oh my word. If the people you're watching aren't still getting excited about their highlighter, I mean, you gotta make some different choices, friends. Like, this is the big moment of the face right here. Like, wow. And I can't stress enough the way this stuff looks on the surface of the skin. Like, I've applied matte blush, I've applied shimmer blush, and I've put on this highlight, and none of them have any kind of hint of like shimmer bits. It's just beautiful, smooth, smoothing the surface of the skin. If I could recommend a, glowy product to someone with aging skin, like, it would be this one. It's so just smooth. I'm putting a little bit there on my Cupid's bow because I like a little highlight there. Very high quality. Very, very nice. I would pay more than $28 for this. So pretty. I'm gonna do a little setting spray. And then I already have my brows done, so we can kind of shoot right into the eyelet. Gosh, I love the smell of Fix Plus. And there's so much in the eye palette, Milani Eyeshadow Primer. There's so much in it I don't feel like one look is really going to tell the story. Kind of the way I feel about that like Italian Spritz palette from Too Faced. Some of these, I'll have these initial videos showing them to you, and then maybe I need to come swing back around and do some more looks. Or maybe like do some quick looks in shorts or something like that. Not wearing shorts, depending on the forecast, but you know what I mean, on a YouTube short. I'm gonna look back on some pictures of looks that I've done. First look I did, I went kind of like cool with the light pinky shimmer on the lid. The next one I did, I went a little more like warm. Maybe it's time to pop a little navy in there today. I'm so excited. I'm first gonna do Dusty Trails right down here. And again, we are using the Unbreakable Bond light option, okay? And we have a huge mirror right here. So I love that. And I love that it opens fully flat. So if you're one who just likes to hold that mirror right in front of your face, you can see everything. I feel like Dusty Trails, it kind of gives you the little surprise that that blush gave earlier. Like, it gives you a little more pigment and depth on the skin than you're even planning to see. But there are just so many great options for setting up the crease and really deciding the direction of your look. Like, I could go rosy, I could go darker brown, I could go warmer. No, this is not sponsored. These were sent to me in PR, but I really think I would have sought them out myself. It's such a right up my alley kind of palette. And for the record, nothing's ever sponsored on this channel. If you're new here, I don't do sponsored videos. I just want you to be able to watch and think her decision to include this in her content, her decision to say what she said was completely on her, not on anybody else, okay? I'm gonna go to Mama right here. So this is a little bit off-white, and I'm gonna use that around the edge. Mainly I pick this shade up to just smooth edges. I'm not really grabbing it to think, ooh, I'm gonna have a profound highlight, even though, you know, it's light in comparison to the other shades, but it's also just one of those nice, smooth it out kinds of colors. So we got this real smooth crease, and then I wanna deepen up my crease even more. And I think I wanna see, when I use some of this stuff down here, I wanna see a little bit of warmth coming to meet that. I'm gonna do some Cleveland right down in the corner. This is my Profusion crease brush that I'm using. And I'm just gonna build that up in my crease a little bit. Definitely a little warmer than Dusty Trails. Gosh, I can't get over the cheeks. Like, I look at that highlight and I think, man, that is satisfying. Blend, blend. Okay, can't wait to hit up some of this dark blue called Indiana Love. This is like a good old-fashioned blue jean type of blue. It's not like a blackened blue. Okay, so I'm picking some of that up with my flat brush. This is my Morphe flat brush. And I'm just gonna pat this on the outer part of my lid. I mean, I love a navy eye. What a fun way to make it rich without really having to have a vivid color punch, you know? Like, I'm one who fully believes neutral palettes can be so fun. And the options in here are really, really nice. Look at this. Can you see that this is blue? It's got a little murkiness to it, but like I said, it's not so dark that it's looking black. You can really tell that it's blue. I love that it's meeting a little bit of warmth there. I flip my brush, I make sure, are we really hitting the crease? Yes, we are. Then I'm gonna take a smaller brush, like Profusion Small Pointed, and I think I'm gonna go for that same shade, Indiana Love, going straight into the crease and just making sure that things are merging in with those crease colors we first applied. Okay, so little circular motions. I'm not making a huge massive shape with this color, but I'm just making sure that that blue is nicely merged into the neutrals. I'm really glad I chose to go for the blue today. Love, love, love. I'm switching to yet another flat brush that's a little bit smaller because we got to do Shaylee's shimmer right here. Okay, bluish shimmer. Really pretty. It's been nothing but mattes in the look to this point, and this brand really knows how to do a smooth pigmented, oh my goodness, really pretty shimmer. Are we seeing? Are we appreciating? This is so pretty. It just grabs the light. That's gorgeous. The fun one could have with this palette. I'm even blending it just a little higher. See that? Like, I'm hitting the crease with this shade too. Oh, it's stunning. Stunning and smooth. Not a bit flaky. From there, I haven't used the shade Tierra either. little silvery gem over here. Let's do that. Going inward. I love how I can just look down into this giant mirror. Oh yeah. And we're just pulling it up so it just overlaps the other shade. Dazzling. This takes your blue jean day and just turns it into something special. And fallout, none to be found. Granted, I don't overload my brush and I've got a nice primer there that's like grabbing it, but just outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. What I want to do now is just make a little bit more of what's radiating out from the crease, because there are so many pretty shade options here, like to take it a little warmer, even warmer than, you know, this shade that we first used, but maybe like we bump up to Taylor Girls right here. Super peachy, kind of like a mix of peach and terracotta. And just let that kind of rise out from the look. I think that'll look so pretty side by side with the navy stuff, right? Use the space, Em, use the space. Look at that. Best look I've done with this palette so far, and I've liked all of them. The others have just maybe been a little more, I guess, standard for me. While I've always liked a navy eye, this is just a little more fun. Okay, super good. Now we're thinking, what do we want to do with the lower lash line? I'm thinking a little bit of the matte blue, just like this. Small pointed brush. Really blending it into that outer corner and letting whatever's left on the brush just kind of come in. We're not making a big deal of it, but a nice bit of definition. This brand is just pure quality. Pure, beautiful, well thought out quality. Okay, my loves, I'm going to finish off this eye look, put a little mascara on, find a lip, and I'll show you how the finished look turns out. Okay, friends, here's the finished eye. I love how it turned out. I didn't do any falsies today. I just did liquid liner, some mascara up top. This is my Relove Long Lash Lengthening, and a little Cali Ray underneath. And then I thought we'd do the lip together here. I've got my Glow Paradise lipstick from L'Oreal in the shade Beige Eden. I did a little video about this on TikTok, just talking about the fact that a shade that I had rediscovered recently from Maybelline and really started liking, from the Shine Compulsion line. It's Baddest Beige, and it's just a shiny, really pretty nude, but they're not selling it anymore. So this they are currently selling, and I think it's gorgeous. It's really pretty just on its own. But then, you know, I love the setup of a nude lip, and then, you know, you can pull in some kind of liner. This is my Kiss and Tell lip liner from Hard Candy. Look at this. We can just add a little more definition with this stuff. See, look at that. Isn't that a nice, satisfying little nude lip? And there's not even any gloss on there, but just love the tone. Then another little finishing touch we like to take, and I like you to see this happening. You know, we've got the highlight, we've got a little glowy cheek. We're not trying to fully undo that. I'm taking my Fit Me Matte and Poreless and Porcelain, which I'm convinced is almost exactly like Airy from my Kosas Cloud set. And I put that over this zone, and I just feel like it perfects even more. It's light, it's bright. Always pleased with the end result when I put that on. And now we take out these 5 rollers. So hair's just getting like a gentle wave at the end, especially my bottom ones. You know, all the bottom length of my hair is being divided between just like 3 rollers. So yeah, they do appear to just be kind of hanging there. My top 2 are really perched up. But the end result, with only taking the time to pop in 5 rollers here, here's what it looks like freshly taken out. I'm going to flip my head over and really work in there with shampoo fingers for a second. Its shape, its volume, you're done, but with so little effort. So I just really enjoyed that. So thank you guys so much for taking time to watch. I hope this video gave you some good info on the Sydney Grace eye and cheek palettes that are new out now. Again, with the eye palette, so many other directions we could have gone. This shade is so pretty. A general warm look, very basic neutral look is in here. I love the little navy twist we did today. And that cheek palette is just flawless. I love it so much. And I might have looked like I had some real heavy blush going on. Maybe some of you think I still do. To me, I feel like once the whole look comes together, the blush just makes sense at the end. Have a great day, everyone, and I will see you very soon. I love you. Bye.